Golf tells us how to take a lot of strokes off our game and lower our handicap, I hope. Good morning, Tim.
Good morning.
Nice to see you. Well, I love the game, but it hates me. Is that a typical attitude?
I'm not sure it's the game that hates you.
What is it?
Well, there's a little guy inside that head that's kind of an enemy. And he says, maybe you're going to hit this one out of bounds. Maybe you're going to miss this 3-foot putt. And you say, oh, yeah, right, I've missed that before. I guess I better make sure I hit this in. And then you make sure you hit it in, you tighten up so much you miss it.
I usually try to say, go away, little guy.
Right, that's right.
I mean, I try not to do that, but that's the pit that most of us fall into, right? I remember when the inner game came out, I remember going on a golf outing with some friends, and they were so into the book because it made such sense, talking about self-1 and self-2. Can you explain that?
Well, almost anybody who does anything, whether it's tennis or golf or ski or sell, whatever you do, and you're trying to do it well, you'll hear a voice inside your head telling you how to do it and watching out for this and watching out for that. Make sure you keep your wrist stiff. Make sure you step into the ball, meet the ball in front. Don't roll your racket over. You know, all that conversation. Well, the guy doing the talking is self-1. And he thinks he knows everything about everything. He knows how to live. He knows how to play. He knows everything. And frankly, by telling you all that, he's implying that you don't know. So basically, he's insulting self-2, which is a poor guy that's got to hit the ball. Right? Self-2, the guy he's talking to, is the one that has to hit the ball or live the life. And what great athletes all know intuitively is that their greatest performances and their greatest enjoyment comes when that voice is quiet. When the mind is quiet, then it can be concentrated in the action, and the best performance just naturally flows out of you.
Don't you believe that the subconscious actually knows, can picture the way a swing should happen, in tennis or golf, and that it's the self-1 that gets in the way?
Yeah.
But you know in your mind's eye what you should look like.
Sure.
All right, I'll show you. I don't know if I want to see this, but we shot some footage for you of a golfer, not too well known.
Oh, a lady golfer. Yes.
Can you, now what am I thinking on my way to the tee here? Or what does the golfer think?
You're probably remembering shots that you hit, you know, in similar situations like that. If you'll notice, the practice swing was really nice and fluid. That's mostly self-2. Self-2 is a practice swing.
Oh.
You didn't tell me. Now, such a different, well, of course, it was slow motion, so I couldn't tell. Okay. It's a nice swing. I'd say, if I had to guess anything, there's just a little bit of, I want to do it right in there. You know, it's like you're not a beginning golfer. A beginning golfer will just try to hit the ball. The theory of the inner game is that trying fails, okay? When you know that you can do something, you just do it. When you try to do something, that's what gets in the way. That's what self-1 is. It's based on doubt. The beginning golfer doubts he'll hit it. Then after he can hit it, he says, now I want to hit it straight. I can show you. You know what trying to hit it straight looks like? Okay, I've got to hit it right down there, right? So you go. Now, that's a little exaggeration, but that's steering. In tennis, you have to tighten your cheeks to do this, right? You go like that, you tighten up to make sure it goes, and you steer it, okay? So that obviously gets in the way. Now, that trying to steer it makes it go crooked.
Because is this where the bounce hit and the da-da-da come into play?
Sure.
Bounce hit in tennis?
You wanna give the mind something to do, the self-1, something to do to get it out of the way of trying to control the bodily action. The body you have to trust the body to do what it knows how to do.
All right, show us in golf how you get self-1 out of the way with this technique you use.
Okay, well, here's one. Where to put the mind if it's just racing, saying, stand this way, grip this way, make sure you keep your left arm straight, do this, do that. Okay, you want to put it somewhere. The best place in tennis to put it is on the ball. In golf, since the ball stands still, the best place to put it is right here on this club head.
Okay.
Now, you can't see the club head when it's back there, so you have to do it by feel. Okay? You have to feel where it is at every minute. So you could say something like, say the word da when it's at the back of the swing. Okay? Da when it makes contact with the ball. Da when it finishes. Okay, so it'd be like this. Da, da, da. Okay?
And that, just in thinking that you have to do that, and the place where you have to say the word,
you have to be with it. Okay, your turn.
Oh, I get to do this?
Yeah, you get to do this.
Oh, good. Okay.
So just take a couple of swings.
da, 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 da.
Okay, okay, a couple more times.
All right.
Don't worry about doing it right.
Da, 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 da.
Okay, now when that last da was when? At the finish or at the contact?
Probably at the contact, except I meant for it to be at the
Actually, it
finish.
happened right about here.
Oh, it did.
Okay, so wait for it to finish.
Da, 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 da.
Okay.
No.
Still a little earlier than the finish, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
But
that's
if you're off, it shows that something else is going on. That's what you're thinking. Okay.
That's the problem. It's the thinking.
That's
Because
the
you
thinking.
say that actually, when you get out on the golf course, if you have an 18-hole round, you've
right.
only hit the ball how many minutes? You've actually been
About
playing?
3 minutes. 3 minutes of hitting the ball and 4 hours of play.
And talking to yourself.
Talking to yourself. Okay?
We have another clip.
Oh.
This is what happens around the green to me.
Oh,
well,
right.
not always, actually. I was a little luckier today than most. Now, again, what's going on in the head here?
Well, you're probably thinking, gee, if I sink this putt, I could get a par, depending on where you are. Okay, you want to get up and down and two. And you
I'm
think,
thinking of holing out the chip shots.
yeah, that's what you're thinking of holding that. Well, that's fine to be thinking that.
That's all right if you're thinking positive.
Yeah, that's the goal. I mean, you get that close to the green, your goal is to sink it. But if you try to sink it, it's not going to sink. Now, I'll tell you what I would suggest. You'll think, well, I'm got to make sure I keep my head still. And that's a nice chip. Okay.
Oh, hit a wall, hit a house.
A little long.
A little long, yeah.
So now you're thinking, gee, I've got a 12-foot putt. I could sink it. I'm knowing I'm going to get down in two, but I want to get down in one, and that'll tend to create a little bit of tension.
And so that isn't good. You should just try to get it close. Is that the idea?
No,
or?
you shouldn't. I'll tell you what you should do after. But that tension that comes from, gee, I could make this. See, if you're 40 foot away, you wouldn't have tension. Okay, there's terrific.
Said a little luckier than most.
Okay, so that can't be improved. Nicholas can't do better than that.
Except that is not the way I always play.
Well, that's what
And
Nicholas
that's
can
the
do
point.
better.
Yes, it's the
Okay.
consistency, and you talk
Okay.
about that in the book too a lot.
Okay, let's take a putter out.
All right, I've
Do you
got
have any balls?
Yeah, I've got some balls.
Okay.
Back here.
Tension there's more tension in the green than probably any other part of the golf course. Golfers get more tired just putzing around on the green. Let's get a couple of these out here.
This is really a lesson. This is
Sure,
great.
sure. Okay, it's a very simple thing.
Whoops.
There you go.
Could somebody throw that back here?
This is a little hockey. We're in Boston. Okay. So now, we got to do this real quick. I'm going
All
to give
right.
you a simple exercise to take away the tension that comes from wanting to get that ball in the hole. Okay, I need a hole here, so I'll use this as a hole.
Okay.
Okay, first I want you just to putt without any...
Wait a minute,
What? Oh, yes, definitely. Good idea. Excuse me. I'm here.
Let's clean.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's clean off the green here.
Okay.
All right.
So, just putt a couple, and I want you just to feel what it feels like to putt. No target. Just putt, enjoy the feel of it. Go ahead. Just putt.
Is that what you should
Yeah.
do when you're on the practice screen?
Yeah, you should just feel the putt. Okay, now, here's a hole.
Mm-hmm.
Instruction is, don't try to hit it.
Oh.
The next instruction is, what I do want you to do, Eileen, is without looking where your ball goes, tell me where it goes in relation to the ball.
All
3
right.
inches left, 3 inches right,
Okay.
right on, whatever it is. Just feel where it goes. Okay, where did it go?
It went far beyond about
No, I
6.
just want to know right or
Oh,
left.
oh, well, it went, let's see, it went to the outside of the ball for the
Outside of the
camera.
ball. How many inches?
2?
2 inches. That's about right. Maybe
Oh.
2.5, 3 inches.
All
Okay.
right. Try one more. So
Again.
that's the idea, to be able to feel
Just-
every stroke?
Just keep going. Just know where this one goes. I don't care where it goes, but know where it goes.
To the outside of the ball, about 2 inches or 2.5 inches again.
Okay? About the same. Now, how can you tell it goes there?
I don't know.
Just see how you can tell.
I guess from the way it took off. Again, the outside about 3 inches? 2 inches?
No, it hit the outside of the ball.
Oh.
Okay?
Oh, you mean it's a quick improvement here,
quick
huh?
improvement.
All right, one more.
Okay, now don't try to repeat it. Don't try to hit the ball. Just know exactly where it goes.
It went to outside.
No, it went dead center, right in the middle of the ball.
Isn't that all right? These
Okay.
are exercises. It's golf season. Tim's book is called The Inner Game of Golf, and it is really fascinating. I'll tell you, you've had great luck with inner tennis and just the inner game, and it's a great book for a golfer to read. It's
That's a very
good
small
tips.
hole you just hit.
Thank you, Tim. Nice
Thank you
to
very
meet
much.
you.
Enjoyed it.
Okay, thanks for the.